And these are not to condemn you. These are not to say, here's where you're an idiot. It's to help you have awareness around what you could be doing differently, what you may not be doing, what you don't, what's in your blinders, what's in your blind spot. This is designed to help you, certainly not condemn you. Today we're doing 21 reasons you aren't making more sales. Okay. A little different, a little different. There will be some carryover for sure, but a little different. So we're going to have some fun. All right, here we go. 21 reasons you aren't making more sales. Number one, and this one is this, at least this first one is in order. This is the number one reason. Okay. It's not the only reason. Some of these aren't going to resonate with you. Some of you aren't making these mistakes. Okay. And I'm willing to bet that if you aren't making the kind of sales that you want to be making, that 2, 3, 5, 10 of the reasons that I'm going to bring up today may hit you between the eyes. And you may see, oh goodness, oh wow, I needed to hear that, right? Number one, this one is in order, just number one, you aren't asking enough people. So the number one reason you aren't making more sales, you're not asking enough people, period. That's the deal. That's the problem. That's the biggest problem. If I could give you one instruction, it would be say less to more people. Don't care if they join you or not. Don't care if they sign up or not. Don't care if they buy or not. And just talk to more people. That would be my number one piece of advice. If I can only give you one piece, that would be it. So the number one reason that people aren't making more sales, not asking enough people, period. Number two, you aren't following up. I mean, the pros know this. 98% of sales, up to 98% of sales are made in follow-up. So what makes you so special that you think you're going to close everyone on your first encounter? How come that's right for you, but not anybody else? Number three, now I could have expanded this, but so number one, you aren't asking enough people. Number two, you aren't following up. Number three, you're only following up, but it's fewer than 5 times. Some of my best reps came in after telling me 6 or 7 no's. So one of the big reasons is maybe you are following up. Maybe you are. Are you following up more than 5 times? See, as soon as I say that, there's a percentage of you that will automatically think, well, I don't want to bother people. I don't want to chase bug or be desperate. I don't want to hound people, because you're drawing the number of follow-ups with some kind of annoyance. That just means you don't know how to follow up. You don't know how to follow up. When you know how to follow up, your follow-ups aren't a nuisance. They're not a bother. They're not hounding. You're not chasing them, begging them, or bugging them. You're just doing the thing. Some will respond, some won't. And that's number 4. Your social media doesn't raise any curiosity. Now that could be a whole host of things. That could be either you only post things that are trying to sell something, or you just don't post anything. You just post pictures of your family. So there's literally no chance that anybody will ever buy your thing or join your thing, because you never talk about anything that would even lead them to that conclusion. Or you make the opposite mistake, where all you talk about is what you have for sale, which leads me to number 5. Number 5 reason, this isn't in order, by the way. Number 5, you think what you sell is your brand. You think what you sell, I am shampoo, I sell shampoo, I sell ketones, I sell CBD, LMNOP, right? That's not a brand. Your brand isn't what you sell. Your brand is, who do you help? How do you help them? And why should they listen to you? And you don't have to be the expert, but it does help to be an authority. And an authority is someone who's experienced things. Some of you are an authority around getting out of tough relationships because you've done it. Some of you are an authority of getting out of tough times because you've done it. Some of you are an authority of overcoming grief because you've been through it, overcoming trauma because you've done it, right? That's an authority. You may not be an expert. You may not have studied it for years at a university or something, but what you sell is not your brand. How do you make people feel? How do you help them? How do you add value, whether people buy from you or not? All of those things help you increase your sales. Has this been helpful so far? Number 6, you spend way too much time on the wrong prospect. I'll have people say, how do I turn my brother-in-law around? He thinks I'm going to prison. Do you mean turn him around to like push him away, like with your foot or something? Like what? Many of you spend way too much time dancing for someone who will never clap. You're trying to convince people. You're trying to get, if only mom would support me, if only my brother would see the light, right? Cut it out. Cut it out. Remember rule number 1? Go ask more people. Say less to more people. That was a good one. Is that a good one? Number 7, you get easily frustrated when you get rejected. I swear, man, if I had to do it over, some of you are aware of the book I co-authored, Go for No for Network Marketing. Go for No for Network Marketing, it helps you with lowering your resistance to rejection and your reaction to rejection. I swear, I wish that during that stint of 6 months where I went for 20 no's a day, and by the way, month 7, I became the number 1 income earner of that company. During that stint of 6 months of going for 20 no's a day every single day, I wish I had like a heart monitor and, some, machines hooked up to me so you could see my reaction to rejection. It was nothing. There was no reaction. Hey, are you open to take a look at what it is that I'm doing? No. Okay, cool. No problem. Do you know anyone that does want to make some money? There's no like, right. There's no, right. There's no variance because it just wasn't a big deal. Some of you like, hey, would you open or look at my thing? And they say no. And you're like, oh, why? Oh, where's the ice cream? Right? Watering down your ice cream with your tears. Cut it out, man. Cut it out. It's not a big deal. So what? I know a guy that he shared his story. I thought this was so impressive. I loved it. The first 100 people he went to told him no. He got 400 no's before he got a yes. And by the way, he was sharing this on stage as a $2 million a year earner. How many of you would have gotten past the 20, the 30, the 50, the 70, the 110, the 200, the 20 no's in a row? How few would have made it to 250 no's in a row, 290 no's in a row, 310 no's in a row, 370 no's in a row? How many of you would have made it to 399 no's in a row and then quit? And here he was as a $2 million a year earner. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. The guy at the time was working as I don't know if he was the bellhop or what, but he was working for he was working at a hotel. He was living in the ghetto. 400 no's, not before success, before his first yes. How many would have lasted? Not many. You would have got to 30 and said, this ain't for me. You would have got to 62 and be like, I've had enough of this. Got to be tougher. Number 8, you're more worried about how you look to someone than possibly helping them with what you offer. It's reason number 8, you aren't making more sales. You're more worried about how they'll judge you just for asking them. I don't care. I just don't care. If I ask someone and they're not interested, cool, no problem. Great. Number 9, you don't believe in what you're selling. I can't help you with that one. If you don't believe in what you're selling, then you would have to be a liar to go and sell it. Now, here's the thing. Maybe you're in a company and you didn't get the result that some other people got. Okay. Well, you can still believe in it if you dig in enough and hear from other people that did get a result. Like a lot of times people say you got to be a product of the product. Well, okay, I prefer that. I like you being a product of the product for sure. But what about when you start? Do you just take, a few months off until you get a result? And what if you don't get a result? Some people come into network marketing and they don't have that deficiency, that whatever that vitamin or whatever helps you with. And so you don't actually see a massive transformation, but there's transformations happening all around you. And so I prefer you being a product of the product, and of course, take your product, of course, but you come into a company and you're presented with 4 or 5 people that have used the product and gotten a great result, then great, go share based on their stories. Hey, I'm still taking it, but my friend Tony, this guy lost weight, or he's feeling great, got more energy, chasing the grandkids, whatever. But if you just don't believe in what you're selling, then you really like to make your life hard. All right, I don't really believe in it, but I'm going to go out there and I'm going to try to shuck my wares. I'm going to try to tell people about it. I don't believe in it. But you're probably not a con artist. You're probably not a liar. So if you don't believe in what you're selling, you're going to struggle. You're going to struggle. Number 10, you have an agreement. Now, this is a spiritual thing. You may have an agreement. And 2 of the very common ones are it's never going to work out or it won't last. So an agreement is something that I'm not saying you agreed to it, but at some point in your life, you agreed to it. And it got set like a program. And the enemy has been using it to show you all this time. Look, told you it wouldn't work out. I told you it wouldn't last. And so you have this filter of everywhere that you look, right? You see that it won't last. It's never going to work out, right? And everywhere you go, you see proof and evidence. I don't agree with all that he said, but Neville Goddard said, you'll always verify what you believe to be true. That's a powerful statement. So if you believe that you suck, if you believe that it won't last, if you believe that people don't appreciate you, you will absolutely verify that through your eyeballs. You'll see that. Here's the good news. The good news is you can thank God for breaking that off of you, and he will. I've helped hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people with that. Father, thank you for breaking this agreement off of me. He'll do it. He'll help you. He'll heal all parts of you. There's a lot of really rich verses. Someone was asking about healing your subconscious. There's a lot of rich verses in Isaiah around healing all parts of you, making rivers in the desert. There's a lot of really powerful stuff in Isaiah. Highly recommend. Number 11, you aren't consistent. Know that all consistency issues are based on observations you made as a kid. All of them. Never seen an exception. Never seen an exception. Number 12 reason you aren't making more sales. You're not asking enough questions. Questions are so powerful. I can't comprehend someone who's trying to make more sales who isn't good at asking questions. Well, what does that mean to you? Well, how come, why do you think that way? Well, what makes you think it won't work? Well, what else have you tried? Well, what has your journey been like on trying to lose weight or whatever it is that you're talking to them about? Number 13, you have resistance to success. We talked a lot about this last night in the challenge. Some people, as soon as they start to get to a higher level, some people get physically sick. I've met people that if they start to get above $4,000 a month or $5,000 or whatever it is for them, they start to physically get sick, and then they notice, oh my goodness, there's some kind of association with money and me being physically sick, and that's deep stuff. That's also based on childhood wounds. Number 14, when you are trying to sell, you come across as needy and desperate. It's clear that you're needy and desperate. See, what's interesting about that is you could represent something that people want, right? You could be selling something that the person you're talking to actually wants. But when you seem needy and desperate, there's kind of an energetic, I don't know about this. They may actually want the thing. And they're like, I'm not sure about this. Number 15, you aren't asking God for help and specifically wisdom. The word of God says, when ye lack wisdom, ask and it'll be given to you liberally and without reproach. Some of you never ask. You pray to God to bless your finances, but you don't ask for wisdom. Aren't finances and money and results? Those are results. Ask for wisdom. Here's something I do every single morning. Father, is there anyone I should reach out to today? I ask that. And there are some mornings he's like, boom, hit me with a name. Okay, you got it. I'll reach out to them 2 times. And one of you are actually on here, my friend. So check this out. Chris Bertini on here. One morning I say, Father, is there anyone I'm supposed to reach out to today? Chris Bertini. Okay. I reach out to Chris Bertini and say, hey, just checking in on your brother. I forget what I said. Is there anything I can pray for you about or whatever? And he responds and he says, dude, I can't believe you reached out to me. I'm like, why is that? He said, last night he prayed to God and said, God, if I'm supposed to be a sponsor of Faith Over Fear, have Ray personally reach out to me tomorrow. How good is God, man? How good is he? By the way, that was the second time something like that happened. My other friend, Mike, same thing. He's like, God, if I'm supposed to work with Ray on this project, have him personally reach out to me the next day. And that next morning, I didn't know either of them did that. But the next morning, I'm like, God, Father, is there anyone I'm supposed to reach out to? Mike. Okay. I reach out to him. He goes, I can't believe you reached out to me. Why aren't you doing that? He's a good father. He delights. Psalm 35:27 says he delights in the prosperity of his servant. So if he delights in the prosperity of Matthew 7:11 talks about how he is a perfect father. So you, as a regular father or a regular mother, or that you're doing the best that you can, don't you want your kids to prosper? Don't you want your kids to do well? Now, his mission, which is much more powerful than how we can operate, we do the best we can. His mission is to always grow us. That's his nature. His nature is to always grow us. Why aren't you asking him for more wisdom? Why are you just relying on your own logic? Why are you walking by sight, not by faith? Where was I? Number 16. Was that a good one? Was that helpful for you? I hope so. Number 16, you lack a vision of who you will be once you are successful. Now, last night we did in the All Access Pass, we did a very powerful exercise around this. And either you got to feel really good and powerful and empowered and emboldened, and you got a new routine now, or it was revealed to you why you aren't creating more success. God created our imagination. We're to use it. We're to use it. Number 17, you're more focused on what's wrong with the company, with the upline, with the product, with yourself, than you are seeing who's open. Now, I believe that comes from Proverbs 4. Proverbs 4 says, keep your eyes forward. Don't turn to the left or right. Keep your eyes forward. And keep them forward for what? On who you're serving. Who are you here to serve? If we want to be first, we got to make ourselves last. See, we want to serve ourselves first. I'm guilty of this. By the time it's dinner time, I'm hungry, right? My wife's over there. She's taking care of the kids, Usually, okay, moms, how many moms on here, you're the last to eat? Raise your hand. That's my wife. Every single meal. I love her. She follows this advice. She'll get me my plate. She'll get the kids' plate. Her plate comes sometime. Sometimes not even at the same time. How many moms eat last? No one asks you this question. You're so used to it. Most moms eat last because they're very good at that, what Jesus talked about. Jesus talked about if you want to be first, make yourself last. So that means do what? Make everybody else first. Moms are very good at that. Dads are very bad at that when it comes to eating, right? We're hungry. And so if you're focused on what's wrong with the company or how long the shipping is or how they're out of this thing or the upline didn't do that or can you believe the upline wore a Gucci sweater or whatever, if you're focused on what's wrong with everything around you or yourself, you're just not focused on who you're actually called to serve. Serve people as best as you can, whatever you got, wherever you are. That's the advice. Number 18. Now, this one's going to hit you between the eyes, and I'm willing to bet, I'm going to throw out a number here. I'm willing to bet this affects, man, do I say it? Do I say it? I believe this affects 60% of you. And you would never guess in a million years that it would be on a list of 21 reasons you aren't making more sales. Who's ready for this? This is going to mess you up. You ain't going to like it. Not going to like it. By the way, who needs to hear this? Tag somebody. You ready for this? This one you're not going to like, but it's true. I saw it in my own life. Your success may be stunted due to your lack of forgiveness. People ask me that know my story, right? So, 2009, I'm dead broke, divorced, in foreclosure, $1 million in debt. And then it was within 5 months, I was at 10,000 a month, 7 months, 40,000 a month, 10 months, 50,000 a month. And people ask, well, what was the switch, Ray? What was the switch? Was it a script? Was it a video? Was it a strategy? What is a hashtag? Do you know what it actually was? It was forgiving my dad. Now, this is biblical. Let me show you. Most people don't catch this. Mark 11:24 says, when ye pray, pray as if you've already received. Mark 11:25 says, and that's how it starts. So Mark 11:24, Mark 11:25 starts with the word and. That means they go together. So when ye pray, pray as if you've already received. Let's just contemplate that for a second. Okay, that means there's something I want, and I'm to be in gratitude as if I already have it. Got it. Hopefully that's your translation as well. And okay, so this must apply to that request. This must apply to that previous verse. And when you stand praying, forgive anyone of anything so that your heavenly Father can forgive you. Forgive anyone of anything? Unless they cut you off in traffic. Doesn't say that. Unless they abuse you as a kid. Doesn't say it. I'm not making light of that. One of the most powerful days of my life is when I reached out to my stepmom and I told her I forgave her. One of the big changes in my finances was when I forgave my dad. What you want in this life may very well be associated. The reason that you don't have it is due to a lack of forgiveness. See, we want God. We love, 1 John 1:9, anything that you confess, he'll forgive you. Right? We like that. Yeah, baby. I like that one. I like me being forgiven, but it is not worldly to forgive those who aren't sorry. I'm not saying forgive those that are sorry. I'm not saying, forgive those once they apologize. That's not what the Word of God says. The Word of God says, forgive anyone of anything. So while you stand praying for that thing that you want, whether it's wisdom, results, abundance, prosperity, perfect butt, whatever you're praying for, right? Pray as if you've already received it and maybe ask yourself, who do I need to forgive? I went through this process. I turned to the Lord. I said, Lord, who do I need to forgive? There's a long list. The top of the list? Can anyone guess the top of the list? Can anyone guess the top of the list of who I needed to forgive? Top of the list. Numero uno. By far. Anyone know? Myself. Probably at the top of your list too. Probably at the top of your list. You turn to the Lord and you ask him, Lord, who do I need to forgive? Boy, does he want to help you. Boy, does he want to give you some names. See, you would never guess that in a million years. You don't read that in a sales book because you're just focused on strategy and tactics and words and scripts and video, right? You're focused on all the skill-based stuff. You're not focused on the spiritual. I hope that helps you, man. I really do. 19, you're waiting to have support from those around you before you operate in boldness. It's not how it works. You're waiting for your husband to buy into your idea before you show up powerfully. Well, I'd show up powerfully if you just believed in me. Not how it works. Doesn't work that way. So I had this super young girl on my team. When she joined, I think she was 20 and she was going to college, finishing up her degree. And, I signed her up, got her on board, and she went home to her family and they're like, what are you doing? Network marketing? That's stupid. Those things don't work. You're an idiot. Like, why are you doing this? You spent money on this. Oh, this is a scam. This isn't going to work. When she hit $10,000 a month by prospecting strangers on Facebook, her two brothers joined. Mother joined and her dad didn't join, but he created her a little spreadsheet. And I know this because that's my wife. We were dating at the time. I got to see her overcome all the close people to her, not believe in her, not believe in the thing. She did it anyway. She did it anyway. And then they all rooted. Yay, we knew you could do it. You're amazing. Stop it. Stop waiting for people to support you for you to operate boldly. If you're, this morning in Rank Makers, I talked about if you want to 10x your results, 10x your energy. If you're not operating in boldness, you aren't getting the results you could be getting. Number 20, you're being ruled by this phrase, why bother? Why bother? Why bother? What does it matter? 2 Corinthians 10:5 says, take captive every thought. Take captive every thought. You need to catch that one. Your why bother is costing you a lot of money, and it's also costing you a lot of impact. And you're a child of God. You're supposed to be operating in excellence. In excellence. 21, you aren't actively investing your time and money to improve your skills. Now, that's not true of those on here. You have at least invested your time to be on here for free video, right? You've at least done that. That's a start. That's a start. And 22, because I always like to over deliver, you have low energy. I talked about this in Rank Makers today. You got low energy. Have more energy in the marketplace. Be more generous with your energy. And guys, I got to tell myself this every morning in my prayers. I got a pretty long list of prayers. One of my prayers is, Father, thank you for giving me more energy in all of my communication so that when I'm at the grocery store, I'm not just dismissive of people. I'm not rude to people. I'm not like, I'm not rude to people, but a lot of times I'm in my own little world, in my own little phone, right? And I maybe that cashier is having a bad day. Maybe someone needs to pray for her. Maybe that waiter or waitress needs someone to pray for her. And you know what? The times that I've taken the time and been generous with my energy to do that, there's been some amazing things happen. Twice I've had a breakthrough with a waitress. One of them, her name was Jessica. She's up in Sarasota. I forget the name of the restaurant. It's a seafood restaurant. And I said, hey, is there anything I can pray for you about? And she goes, pray for me? And she said, my son died 2 months ago. I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. And I knew in that moment, God had sent me into that restaurant to pray for her. And so I stood up, I hugged her, prayed with her, left her, really nice tip. I got out of there before she could see it, 'cause that's always awkward. If you were just more generous with your energy, results would come to you. Sales would come to you. People would be attracted to you. People would share your stuff. And so I hope this is helpful to you. 22 reasons you aren't making more sales. Feel free to tag someone. If you know someone that's in your team or your friends or whatever, and they are vowing they're going to thrive, okay, well, share this with them. And they'll see some of the mistakes that they made that they don't want to repeat. And so I appreciate you so very much. Feel free to share this with anyone you think might be helped by it. And I am just rooting for you. So God bless you. God bless your family. May God, bless you in the work of your hands. And I'm just so grateful for you. Thank you for being on here, guys. Bye for now.